Hi, my name is Graham Lewis. I live in Essex, where I've been in the UK for about 14 years. I used to be really fit, and then, family, kids, excuses. I was really happy when I could bench, squat, and deadlift a little more than double my own weight. Then I injured myself, rather stupidly, and I stopped training. I want to get back to that level, so I'm focusing on people who are fit and who help others get fit, and showing them how SMS can 5 times their sales. It's super simple to do and rather symbiotic because their motivation rubs off on me and I'll get more fit as time goes on. So I've been in the mobile value added services market for about 20 years. I wanted to change the way I work because that industry, the sales are huge, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. My last sale was $1 million. And they take maybe 3 years to close a sale. So I wanted to change the way I was working. So earlier this year, I took a decision to go all in on something. My previous roles had mostly been business development, but the catalyst for change was that $1 million sale that I made back in March, which the client is still renegotiating and seemingly very close to completing. It's really sending me up the wall. So change was due. I wanted control. I wanted something I had full responsibility for, without partners, without joint ventures, without having to rely on other people's money and investors' money. I've dabbled in online marketing for years, and earlier this year decided to just focus on that, so go all in on it. Now, since then, I've seen some very interesting changes in the conversations with the people that I've been doing marketing with and to. My interest in marketing really centers around SMS marketing because it's the fault of my last career in corporate world, where I saw a startup that I was part of grow from nothing to over 7 million members in just a few weeks. It was a text chat service that America Online bought. And since then, I've always had this interest in SMS because it adds a really unique advantage to marketing. Just a difference between SMS and email marketing, for instance, is SMS will give you close on 98% messages read, whereas email is only at about 20% if you're lucky. Before I left that career though, my last project with that company was to introduce an advert into a service where a customer, if they had no credit on their mobile phone, could get someone with credit to call them back. And that product I saw grow to over £100 million a year in revenue. And I thought, well, I can come up with these ideas in a corporate environment. I've got to be able to try and do something on my own to run a business. So that's when my business education really began. I ended up buying a franchise for domestic fencing security. We lived in an area that had a very high crime rate, very well known internationally for hijackings and murders. The city was known as Gangster's Paradise. So I knew there would be a demand for a system to make homes more secure. And I knew zero about running a business, despite having had one that contracted me in my corporate roles, and it paid me really well. However, in the business that I bought, I was losing money fast. It was a domestic security product that went on top of the wall around your house. I was managing to pay staff, but my capital was running out very fast. Now, a friend in business who was mentoring me turned that around in about 4 months, and we started making some really good profit. And just then, what do you know? The franchisor decided he'd had enough and didn't like the products we were selling. I was telling him that he needed to be selling products that the market was asking for and trying to encourage him to take new products on, and he just said flat no. So we closed the business. At the same time, I lost a portfolio of quite a few rental properties, and then decided I'd had enough of living in such a dangerous situation and moved over to the UK, where I have been since then. So lessons learned. I've seen people make a lot of money off LinkedIn. I must have spent well over 30,000 on courses and books on the internet, subject of marketing, it's an incredibly expensive subject to start learning if you're just dabbling in it and not actually going in it. It can be really overwhelming, and I've heard this before, that you can solve your overwhelm by just focusing on one thing. And that's what really drove me to drill down on SMS marketing, because to make that my one thing, I stopped subscribing to just about every top marketer out there, and only one gets into my inbox now, and it'll stay that way for the next year. Do one thing and do it well before you move on to the next thing. I really like the 5-day challenge model of introducing services, products to a niche market. It's doable. One task a day for 5 days. Anyone can do that, even me. It's also vital to make clear that what you're offering seriously over-delivers on value. I tried various funnel type systems and building web pages, and I even went as far as building whole messaging platforms. But if you're not going to commit about 10,000 to any of those systems, none of them will really work. They've all got like a critical mass of a huge bill up front, and I felt quite hesitant to try and commit that to a system that I wasn't really sure about, that I was still learning. So I was looking for a way to help people get more sales that didn't require such a big upfront commitment. Also didn't want to have to hire anybody to build out my system at the start. I wanted full control, and I wanted to be able to understand every part of the business that I was building. Eventually I know I'll have to outsource more than I am right now, since you need to do that. If you want your business to scale, you've got to scale your team. Where I've settled is with a system that costs me just under £500 a month to run my full business, and I mean everything. It does my funnels, it does campaigns, it does text marketing, it even builds my website for me. And the most amazing thing for me is that I can turn on a fire hose of clients that get crammed into my inbox at any time. And if I want to take it slower, or if I want time off, I can do that. This is what full control means to me, is having the ability to create sales on demand. Maybe that's what you need. The assurance that you'll never run out of paying clients, or that you're tired of prospects trying to bargain with you for discounts. For years, I believed in 99 no's to get one yes school of thought. I've chucked that out. Here's how my day goes now. I do 3 sessions a day on LinkedIn to drive my outbound engagement. I never reply to inbox messages. I only talk to people who've paid to speak to me. Prospects find me via my content, and my content shows them what they can get from me. They actually, over time, they will see everything that I do. They could do it all for free if they just collect all the content themselves and implement it. When they're ready to buy, they then hit my offer page, which is in all the content that I publish. So that's how it works, and if that sounds interesting to you, there's a link below this video. Click it and see if that's what you want, and if it is, I look forward to speaking to you.